You want to know the difference between us? I have class and you don't.
But we're back.
Mother, we are so back.
We're so back. Welcome
Yes.
back. Episode 2.
Episode dose.
Maya and Fola take over
Back
the
to
world.
Maya and Fola to take over the world. Fola, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, it's been like a pretty mild week this week. I'm seeing Beyonce in 2 weeks. Just preparing for that. I still don't have an outfit,
Oh,
which
absolutely.
I'm I'm a mess. But yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I've been really busy these last couple weeks. Like, dropped off dry cleaning to my dry cleaner like almost 3 weeks ago and still have not picked it up. Busy. Like, he's probably gonna beat me up if I don't pick it up this weekend. So that I fear that will be happening. But working 2 jobs. My dad is having this big 50th birthday party. He's a Leo man. He's Indo-Trinidadian. It's a big deal. So, yeah, just a lot of preparing and like
Sorry, I was just imagining you like in a Street Fighter like style fight with your dry cleaner. Like you said he's gonna beat you up if you don't take if you don't pick up your laundry. Yeah. But you got your hair done.
yes, I got my hair rebraided, the knotless box braids. The boxes were they were getting broken down. And, Leo father, I'm not going to pull up to his 50th birthday party with undone braids. So I had to go get my braids redone. I brought my laptop. It was giving Carrie Bradshaw in the chair. Just, I couldn't help but wonder.
I couldn't
Alas,
help
I'm
but
just,
wonder if I used Eco Styler instead of got to be glue gel on my edges. If Mr. Big would like me back. Sorry. I'm full on interrupting you.
no, you're fine. Yeah, I was just being a modern woman, just getting my work done while I'm in the hair salon, black woman in tech, black woman in STEM. And alas, here we are. The party is almost here. This man's literally been talking about having this party for years. So
Right.
the day is approaching, I fear.
I feel like you've been talking about this party. Like, I'm like, when is her dad's birthday?
I feel like you've been talking about this party. Like, I'm like, when is her dad's birthday even? Like, this has been a long time coming. Like,
No, you're right. So basically, my dad works for the government and he's going to retire in 2 years. And he's literally been counting down his retirement since he started this job when I was like 5 or 6 years old.
he's so real.
And he's also so yeah, he's supposed to retire in 2 years. He's turning 50 this year. For a while, he was like trying to decide, am I going to do a big 50th birthday party? Am I going to do a big retirement party? Should I combine the two? Last winter, I think we kind of agreed that we would hold off the retirement party and then do like a big trip for his 50th birthday party.
Okay.
And literally January 1st, 2023, this man is like, actually, I'm gonna have my birthday party this year.
Oh, oh.
And this is an unmarried Indo-Trinidadian Leo man. And
Mm.
I am his eldest Taurus daughter, which
Mm.
meant that I would be planning a party.
You're planning. Yeah.
Right. Um, there's been some conflict on the party front, but ultimately it was swept up.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just a big deal to him. He's literally been talking about this party for years, and I think it's gonna be a good time. The girlies are pulling up, which we love to see because I
Yeah.
would rather count every subway tile in Manhattan than spend my Sunday night with a bunch of old judgmental Caribbean people. So yeah, so shout out to the girlies. But like
Shout out to the
that's why the party is like
girlies.
such a big deal. I keep calling it his Sweet 16 because that is exactly the vibe it's giving.
Stop. It is.
And yeah,
My Super Sweet 16. Do you
yes.
remember that episode where the girl's like, do you want to beat you up in front of everybody again? Are you ready for that?
Oh my god, I think so. Was she like
She's like
was
handing
she
out the invitation. She was like a short little black girl. She's handing out her invitations and she's like, did you fucking take an invitation, Mackenzie? And she's like going off on this girl.
I need a my Super Sweet 16, where are they now? Because I have so many questions.
No, like Tiana Taylor
Oh yeah.
out of my Super Sweet 16 episode. I
Mhm.
think Chris Brown and
Mhm.
Bow Wow had Super Sweet 16 episodes. I feel like podcast episode.
Speaking of Leos, we have to give a birthday shout out to mother, sister, queen, Miss Brooke Devard. I really don't know what to say. I don't like idolize people really because they do tend to disappoint me. But Brooke Devard is my sister.
She's never
Mother.
failed. Mother
She
to Mavi, the cutest baby ever. The only reason I would actually birth a son
Right.
is her and that child. Did you
Is
see
that-
the video of her being like, "Do you want to use the gua sha?" And he's like, "Mommy, where's the gua sha?" I almost died, but yeah.
Yes.
We love Brooke. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday,
Thanks
Brooke.
for inspiring us.
Yes.
Hope to have you on the pod in the future.
Role model of the pod, Brooke Devard.
We
Oh, yeah.
Barbenheimered a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, I can believe how quickly time is going. Fola and I went together. Obviously, we made a big outing of it with the girls and our token male friend. I guess should we give the people a rundown of our day? I think that's
Yeah, sure. It was really lovely. We went to brunch, and then we went to the theater and we did Oppenheimer. Then we had like a quick little run get snacks break, and then we did Barbie. And then we went and got some like dumplings at this restaurant across from the theater. It was really fun. Like I thought I had a really lovely day. It wasn't too hot outside. Like it wasn't unbearable, hanging out with the girls. It was very
everyone
fun,
stopped
yeah.
us and was asking us about like our outfits and if we saw the movie yet
Absolutely.
and telling us to have a great
Like, "Are you going to see
time.
Barbie?" We were like,
Yeah.
Ingenuity because they're gonna start trying to do Barbenheimers every summer and they're just not gonna be good.
It's not going to give what they want it to give.
It's exactly. It's
Yeah.
really sad to see. There's like some poor like intern at I don't know, someplace who's like typing up a mock-up of like some stupid movie mashup. Poor thing.
Mhm.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if they're really about it, they will re-release Mamma Mia and The Dark Knight because I would go see that. I would go see it.
I actually haven't seen Mamma Mia, but I know that it's like I know the vibe.
You got to see Mamma Mia. It's
I
too
know.
good.
I know.
It's too freaking good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I it's just like I feel like I avoid it because I'm just like, oh my God, like once I see it, it's gonna stick in my brain and I'm not gonna be able to do anything for like a month besides listen to these songs. So it's for the best, but absolutely. Shout out to ABBA. Shout out to, celebrities who just put out their music and shut up.
Let's bring that back.
Silence.
What a perfect segue because it's almost an abundance of celebrity news this week. Like, it's just the fact that it's only Thursday
It's
and
a
there's
little
been
bit
like 4
scary.
stories is a little
With
bit for like major
yeah,
stories. It's
like,
a little bit
telling us nothing.
scary.
I love when celebrities are just silent. Like that's why I think I stand Beyonce so hard because she speaks to her fans once a year and it's like barely a whisper and it's just like we're just like, oh my God, Beyonce, because what's her name, Ariana Grande's new boyfriend's ex-wife continues to speak to us.
I'm glad you brought it
And
up
it's
because
just like,
it's been weighing on my heart and I got to get off
I
my
don't
chest.
really care.
First off, we don't care. We do not care. I have not been gagged by a cheating scandal literally since I was fucking 8 years old. And Tiger Woods' ex-wife Elin was beating the shit out of his car with his golf clubs.
That was like, why was that so devastating as a child? Like I feel like everyone has strong memories of just like Tiger Woods, like and his whole cheating thing.
I think it's because like he was Obama before Obama was Obama. Like he was like the palatable biracial guy who's famous and like skilled and talented or whatever.
Wow. You're a bit of a genius, I fear.
Here I am.
Who's our biracial now?
Zendaya?
You know what? And she is actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But shout out to Ariana. Shout out to her for ruining marriages. Personally, I think they were like trying to do like a what's it called? Like a compilation of all the relationships she's destroyed. And I'm like, okay, like you see this, and yet you keep letting her near your man. You keep letting her come to your what did like wasn't she like at their like anniversary parties and shit? Like she was around plotting, scheming.
Right. I'm just tired of like it feels like every 3 to 6 months at this point, it's like a white heterosexual cheating scandal, and it's like it's completely unremarkable. You know what I mean? Like I've probably witnessed more compelling drama in my own house that week than hearing about the oh no, the white heterosexual celebrities are cheating on each other again. Should we throw a party? Should we invite Bill Clinton? Like, and I just like, I'm sorry, are we like in the Salem witch trials? Like cheating is just like, is cheating bad? Yes. But like, it's really giving, I saw Goody Proctor with the devil at this point. Like, it's getting to be too much. Why are we still talking about Ariana and SpongeBob? It's been like a week and a half at this point. The girlies, the she-theys with the oat milk and the bangs are so mad about John Mulaney and Anna Marie Tendler, even though none of us know what was happening there, timeline-wise. And it's just, I need you guys to like divest from cheating. You guys are not getting cheated on. Okay? You guys are not the ones getting cheated on. I'm tired. I'm bored.
The way they were mad at John Mulaney, the way Anna Marie Tendler was posting like interpretive dance choreography and like pictures of her feet and like talking about like the wounds that have been caused. Meanwhile, he's like bouncing this baby on his hip. Like he does not give a fuck. I'm sorry.
The response is just disproportionate to what the thing is at hand, especially with John Mulaney. Like they were acting like he murdered Selena.
No, this is me defending Shiv Roy throughout all of Succession. Yeah, and it's like I think it's the issue is like people are like, oh, I trusted him. He doesn't know who you are. He wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. None of these people would.
And I wouldn't either, because you guys are weird.
I'm simply not saving you. And the funniest thing is that Ariana Grande was like, oh, and here's my new flavor of my perfume. And she said, you bitches are gonna buy it anyway. Yeah. Sorry to say, she chewed. You're never gonna make me hate her. Like,
I'm sorry, the album's gonna eat. I'm still gonna have positions on repeat. Maybe I'll buy the fragrance, but women can't have hobbies
breaking
anymore.
up families, maybe she's really good at it. Like, you know, if she was good at fencing, we would let her fence. If she was so why not let her destroy marriages? Like clearly she's an expert. I'm just thinking of her like as like a Dance Dance Revolution like enemy or something. like she's like level hard. Stealing your boyfriend. Oh yeah. Speaking of like parasocial type stuff, the Lizzo moment that we're having right now. This has been a rough 48 hours for the girls.
It's been really weird. I typically hate when people like when someone gets exposed and people are like, I never liked that person. I always had a bad feeling about them. Because it's like if like I have those moments, but I know that I'm incredibly smart and incredibly perceptive. Some of you bitches can't tell navy blue from black.
Ooh.
I really don't think we should be trusting your judgment on character. Right. But I will say that like I respect Lizzo as like a person and an artist and stuff. But when she did first come on the scene and I saw how much like white millennial women were drawn to her, but like black people were kind of just like indifferent about her at best, I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I like a couple of the Lizzo songs. I like some of her music, and I liked her vegan TikToks when she would like get like jackfruit birria tacos and shit. I fucked with that. But it's like, even though like she's like making content in her house and she's, you know, making music about like her life and stuff, We still don't know that lady. We just do not know her. And I feel like people are like, oh, I'm just so disappointed this Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, sure. But I'm like, we need to start creating distance between ourselves and these people. Same thing with like the Doja Cat thing. People are like, oh, I'm so disappointed in Doja Cat for dating a nasty white guy. I'm like, it's Doja Cat. Like that's her type. I don't know what to tell you.
Are we forgetting that she was in the racial chat rooms showing feet?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, and she was proud of it. The fact is, I'm pretty sure she's still in the racial chat rooms.
Right.
And she's got Grammys. Like, she doesn't give a fuck.
Also,
Zendaya
white
is doing
mom
so
biracial
much work.
See,
carrying
honestly,
the white mom biracials right now on her shoulders.
Another person who I'm sure is relieved that like the strike is happening, aside from Io Debris, like because I've been saying Io Debris is probably happy about the strike because she was doing a bazillion projects. Now
Right, she gets to lie down. Oh my god.
Shout out to my Caribbean African queen, period.
Absolutely.
And Zendaya can now, I don't know, I guess she can chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
And, release the tension from carrying the white mom biracials on her back for at least a little while.
Right. Literally since like Barack's since he left office.
Yeah.
She's been doing it because Obama's like listening to like Pound Town and like writing it down and being like putting it on his blogs.
And having a Netflix documentary.
Yeah. Whatever. Speaking of Zendaya, Euphoria, Angus Cloud, R.I.P.
Rest in peace to my Ginger King.
That was so crazy to like read. He's literally like our age, like a little bit older than us.
A friend of a friend asked me to come work, like do like production assistant work essentially that day. And we were like busy packing up goodie bags for the event and like setting them up. And then I pull out my phone to check my phone for the first time in a while, and I have 10 text messages and they're all telling me that Angus Cloud fucking died. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, actually.
It's crazy.
Like,
and I not
poor
to
guy.
Trivialize it, but I think that this is a sign that I think like he's really he was one of the beating hearts of Euphoria. He was one of the things keeping people coming back. Like, unfortunately, Sam Levinson isn't gonna do it. Like I don't think he'll be able to handle that as like a screw, as like a anything. So I'm like, not to say that Euphoria should be over, but like
I like, because it wasn't gonna come back till 2025 anyway, and that was before the writer's strike and the
Zendaya was
WGA
gonna be a full 38 years old.
Sam Levinson needs to be put on trial for violating the Geneva Convention. And season 2 fucking sucked. And, me and Alexis, my best friend, were talking about this last night. I don't really know if I can be 27 years old watching Euphoria. Like,
and I was like, me, Alexis, and her friend Chelsea are all hanging out yesterday.
With a full child. Who knows?
Do I really need to be watching something
That's the
that
thing.
I was watching
like,
when I was 19?
When did Euphoria come out? That was like what, sophomore year of college? Like I was still like, oh, I can dabble in the high school shit, but like now it's like I'm gonna be off my parents' like healthcare soon. Like that's the shit is not, I don't know. It's not for me. And I think that like Sam Levinson just needs to like attend a writer's clinic, I think that he should just be in like he needs like a 6-week intensive. I think he just just like, or just maybe just sit and watch just like a few good television shows and just see how those are done, and then maybe like come back to the drawing board, because he can kind of do whatever he wants. I mean, he made Euphoria, which was a big show, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think he's a sustainable writer. And like, I think season 1 of Euphoria like sustained itself and got that hype in that way, not because of anything that he was doing particularly, but because
absolutely. And the thing is, Euphoria's like it's like what's it called, an adaptation from like a European show or something like that. So it's just like, okay, did he really even like, we haven't seen the original show? I don't know. Right. Enough about that. But yeah, rest in peace, Angus Cloud. Yeah, like honestly, I just really I feel like it would have been super cool to just like smoke weed with.
I know, right? Husband.
Okay, well, since we've like spent like like 20 minutes talking about stuff that's not the topic of this episode. Maybe we should get into it.
I think we should.
So if you like notice from the intro and like the random like little comments, today's episode is about The Parent Trap.
Woo!
Yeah, hooray, hooray. I saw that it turned like 25 a couple days ago, and I was like, and Maya and I talked about doing one, and I was like, I think it's the end of summer. It's just very, I don't know. It's Parent Trap season. And it's like something that we've bonded over as friends. Definitely like one of our favorite movies as a collective. I have a little poster somewhere behind me.
I also have one.
Exactly. Like it's like people with taste. Like I feel like that is like the litmus test. Like were you a young child and you like really fucked with The Parent Trap? That is like, okay, wow. Like as an adult, I'm like, okay, I know you're a good, interesting person with taste. You know, you understand aesthetics and like stories and yeah, and good writing.
My little sister texted me actually like a week or two ago. I think she was either like watching your live or like your like wall tour or something. And she was like, I know that you and Fola were like destined to be friends because you both have Parent Trap prints on your wall.
Stop. That's so cute. Yeah. Oh my god, twinning. Have you seen like the original Parent Trap, like the one with
don't they have like fuck ass bobs in that one?
Oh my god, let me look at it. Is it a fuck ass bob? Like I know it was a like that what's it called, you know, that gif of the wig being like snapped onto that person's head.
No. Let me look at the trailer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Not this Julie Andrews ass haircut.
This fucking bowl cut. Oh my god. Nancy Meyers, like, she did what she had to do.
She said, I'm actually gonna I'll take that. Thank you. And she gave us just like one of the most iconic movies of all time.
No, absolutely.
And like, you know, I don't know. So like Maya, like how'd you come to know The Parent Trap?
Okay, so I have this very distinct childhood memory where like I think it was like a recurring thing where what some of my favorite days as a kid were when I would get home from school on Friday and I knew that Disney Channel was going to show a little movie moment because I think kids these days don't realize that like you didn't get really a say in what you watched on TV back in the day. The kids that I nannied for definitely didn't understand that.
Just the excitement of coming home and knowing that at like 8
so yeah, just the excitement of coming home and knowing that at like 8 p.m. I'm going to watch a Disney Channel original movie. And I'm not going to know what it is. I'm going to have to wait to find out.
Those Fridays, my mom would order
and also sometimes on those Fridays, my mom would order Chinese.
When I would come home,
so
and it would be
when I would come home and it would be a Chinese food Disney Channel movie night. And it was The Parent Trap. Like it was really, I was getting my entire life.
That sounds so fun. Oh my god. And like, yeah, like your life was really just up to like whoever was fucking flipping the switches over at Disney Channel. Like, you know, if they wanted to play like those movies about, I don't know, like there were some movies that weren't like very good. There were movies that were good and then there were movies that weren't good. And if they wanted to play like one of those shitty movies, it's like that's it. You're watching Nickelodeon tonight.
The 8-year-old boy I nanny for has been watching The Simpsons for at least the last 2.5 months. And I did not know how to explain to him that he would not have ever been able to do that like 10 years ago. No. Just sit and watch The Simpsons.
Just join where they are.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
No. Just like you would have had to just join where they are.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fola. What was your Parent Trap initial experience?
I'll be honest, I feel like I don't really remember the first time I ever watched it. I just know we watched it on a VHS. Like I know we had to like rewind the tape before we pressed play. And I remember like the VHS tape, like the, I don't know, what is it, like a container, the case was like so cunt. Like it was like Hallie and Annie in like these like sparkly bathing suits, and they were like, oh my, just really like it gave. And I remember being a kid and being like, wow, like this is gorgeous. I love it. And so yeah, like being younger, like we'd always have like sleepovers with my cousins and stuff. And like, it's like, okay, let's watch a movie. And then go to bed at like 10 p.m. because it's super late because we're raging. And then yeah, it was like always like, okay, my mom would buy like that popcorn from like the movie theater butter popcorn from Costco, and we just like pop popcorn and just fucking watch movies. And Parent Trap was always in that rotation. And I feel like as I got older, I was like, this is one of my favorite movies. Like it's just so fun. And it's like a warm hug, you know? Like on my 17th birthday, a bunch of my cousins came over and I just put on the Parent Trap, and my mom was like, this is your birthday. Like, this is so you. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Very fun. Yeah. Like Nancy Myers is really the girl. Like, I just don't know. Like,
She's just, we'll eventually do like a whole Nancy Myers episode, but she's just, I think also the Parent Trap and Nancy Myers specifically is what like got me into films when I was a kid. I always tell people that like, I used to say that I had like cultural gaps because like my parents are immigrants. They didn't move to the States until like the 80s, which isn't entirely true. I just think like that is a component, but also we are very much like a TV show music
and the Parent Trap
family
is like, yeah, you're like a
as
young
opposed to
kid,
a
and you're like, oh, I get what's going on.
movie
And then you
family.
watch
So
it
I'd like
and
a lot
you're
of like
older,
popular
and you're
movies and
like,
stuff I
oh.
didn't see. And like I have very
Like,
distinct
what's her
memories of like
name?
being
like
young
Meredith Blake being
and
26.
like the Parent Trap comes to mind, Father of the Bride comes to mind, and like I don't know what it is about like a Nancy Myers film specifically. Maybe it's because like they're sent to run like young women and families and stuff, but like it did feel really accessible to me as like a young girl, even if I didn't completely understand everything that was going on. I gotta say it, I'm a Meredith Blake apologist.
Like, I don't know, the way I would have been acting if I bagged a vineyard owner
that looked like Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, no, she's kind of an icon. Not only that, she had her little gay best friend back in the 90s running around on that golf course in the golf cart. Her like iconic little cunty camping outfit. Like, yeah, like she was the villain of the movie. But it's like, sometimes you have to be the villain to like serve cunt, like to just be the it girl. I don't know. It's just, yeah, she's mother.
She's queen. She's queen. Oh, speaking of mothers, the mother, Natasha Richardson.
Icon. My Princess Diana.
Literally.
Because I thought she was Princess Diana until or I would confuse them. Like they're just like, yeah, like white women with that haircut and they're British. No, but like let's talk about Mother. Like she was like that like section of the movie where they're like running around London and she's just like, oh, my daughter's back from camp and let me take her to this photo shoot and hang out, and also let me dress my daughter in this like cunty little powder blue suit and let's run around London and just eat and just be like, and just, casual. You just got off like a 15-hour flight and we're just yeah, like she's mother. Like I'm so sorry. You're just I don't know.
She was ahead of her time, actually. Just like a bougie, single, working mom. Like, like she really was the blueprint for like the Tribeca mom, the Brooklyn Heights mom, like the bougie mom, you know?
Right. Like the really expensive stroller and the like, Soul Cycle class. Like that's all that's missing. Like maybe she just had like an exercise bike in one of the back rooms of their house. Who knows? I feel like I like to think about the movie in like chapters, and I think it's like supposed to be like thought of that way. Like it's like the camp era, and then the switch, and then the switchback. And so like the London part, I feel like is some of my favorite stuff in the movie. Like I can really just like watch that on loop because it's just so pretty to me. The way it's like rainy.
Yeah,
They chewed.
They
I'm
chewed.
afraid.
Every second of the movie is just like
I need to know how much money that movie made. What were you saying, speaking of camp?
Oh, I was saying, speaking of camp, like looking back and like tie-dye girl, the icon, the girl, the doll. Maya sent me a video. Apparently, tie-dye girl has like Parent Trap sleepovers with all the girls on her, like that live on her block with her daughters. And she's like, and they're like, oh, that's her, when their mom comes up on the screen. Oh my God.
Wait, that's so cute. I didn't even realize. I feel like I sent you that. Maybe I didn't watch the whole thing because I didn't realize
That's
it
what you
was.
sent me.
Yeah, I went to her account and it was like, she's like, yes, I'm tie-dye girl. I was like, damn, did you realize like you were a lot of young people's like queer awakening as like a 12-year-old?
Okay, I was thinking about it the other day. The Parent Trap bisexual media.
Absolutely. I second, I concur.
Yeah.
Like, first off, like, why were mad at the little girls? Like, the little girls at the camp who got lines, mad gay. The one who taught Hallie how to pull her bag out of the thing, the one with the glasses and the bob.
Right.
Bisexual
You're
down.
telling me she's straight?
Yeah. Yeah. Historical women's college down.
She
And then-
literally looks like she goes she goes to Smith. She goes she looks like a Brooklyn woman who like ferments things in her house. Are you kidding me?
I know she does not play about a kombucha.
She composts and shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know she wears the fuck out of a loafer.
Exactly.
Tie-dye girl. Hallie's definitely she-they.
She's from California. Yeah.
She was raised by her dad.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was raised by fucking
Annie.
Chessie, that lesbian.
Why did you say it like it was a slur?
I need everyone to understand that whole thing that they try to do at the end of the movie where like she falls in love with Martin the butler. It just doesn't add up. They are both gay. Like, are you kidding me? And yeah, that was another like bisexual awakening moment. Being a kid and like I used to be like, I just really like Chessie. I just can't put my finger on why. I just think she's such a cool lady. And I just think her character is so cool. And I just love how she talks about things. And then I was like,
I think I told you this before, but he and I like know each other like tangentially, but I know her nephew.
oh wow.
Yeah, Lisa Ann Walters' nephew.
I don't know. I feel like you need to turn that tangent into a little perpendicular parallel moment. Not me pulling up my geometry knowledge.
Please. Women in STEM. But yeah, Parent Trap is definitely a bisexual movie because like just not even just that like everyone of every gender is hot and like a lot of the characters are gay coded, but the fact that Nancy Meyers puts her entire Nancy pussy into the aesthetic and the soundtrack when they opened up with Love by Nat King Cole, even 6-year-old me knew that this movie was going to be something different.
Exactly. You feel it like in your
Yeah.
soul.
Yes.
Hell is for
For the way you look
And then
at me.
iconic because the end of the movie is Natalie Cole. This will be an everlasting love. Like they really like that was messaging.
No,
Like, that was intentional. Like that was like, you know, from one generation to another. Like, oh my God.
it's just too good.
So get me started. And then the handshake, of course. I feel like I tried to learn it, but I just like didn't have the brain capacity as a child. So I might have to like watch a YouTube video. I think I can get it now.
I feel like me and my sisters have been saying that we're gonna learn it, but my autistic ass, I just, I can't be good at everything. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm gonna have to get it down one day because it is part of my culture.
Right. But I feel like, you know what? It's a lot of like skipping and jumping around. You know, my knees don't like do that anymore. Like they're like she's like ducking like into like a deep squat.
Right? They're like doing like a bob and a weave to go under each other. Like they were practically square dancing on that fucking pier at one point. I know that Nick Parker and Elizabeth James were meant for each other, because they both, not only did they decide to like get married after meeting each other on a cruise for like 5 minutes, which I don't blame them because they're both very sexy. But absolutely. Number two, they both were like, you know what? We're going to get a divorce. Clearly, you should take one of the twins and go back to London, and I'm going to stay here in America with the other twin, and we're not going to tell them about it. Like, the fact that they both were like, yeah.
Solid like, plan.
The fact that that's what they decided on, right. It's giving twin flame.
And it's like, did they like have a divorce? Like, did they like have lawyers go, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea? And they're like, shut the fuck up. I pay you. Don't say shit. I'm just taking one. And I'm just like, I don't know. Shout out to them though, honestly. Like,
they split up the twins like they were their belongings.
they were like one hair dryer, one shoe, one baby. I don't like, I wonder if there are like any like real like families who like do that. Who they're just like, I'll take a baby. But you know what? That requires a lot of financial security. Let's talk about the privilege that went into choosing to split them apart, because a lot of people stay in marriages because it's secure for them, you know? And the fact that Elizabeth James was able to say, fuck you, I'm taking my baby back to my beautiful, gorgeous house in London.
Yeah, it's very modern. Like, that is, I kind of feel like, you know, secrecy aside, I feel like that's an arrangement that like a New York family would have.
Absolutely.
Like a diverse, rich New York family would do that.
Why isn't there like a Parent Trap about like one parent who lives in like the Lower East Side with a twin and one parent lives on like the Upper West?
Most of the movie would be of them on the train.
They meet at like swim camp at the fucking 92nd Street YMCA.
But oh my god, the parents, yes. I can't get enough of them. Dennis Quaid, like, that is a man. They don't make men like that anymore.
They make men like that. Oof. Like the first time you see him and he's just standing there waiting for the plane. Like, yeah. In his giant house that he owns in Napa with his vineyard. What do men that age do now? They all have tech startups. They have podcasts. They're asking about $200 dates, and
they're wearing Amiri jeans and Comme des Garçons sneakers. Bring our men back.
Christian Walker needs to be a guest. I don't want to like amplify his voice because I know he's still like not a great person, but I want to hear his views on men.
I think we would all get along really well. Maybe we need to do a brunch with Christian Walker, a kiki with Christian.
Yeah, but shout out to Dennis Quaid in that movie, because I feel like that movie is very like Parent Trap is very like women centric, and like you can like get really just like deep into like how incredible all the girly pops are, but Dennis Quaid is like the anchor, you know what I mean? Like he falls in that pool in that one scene and he's just fine, he's just hot, like there's just, yeah, I don't know.
And then also he's the one that's getting engaged to Meredith, which brings in the conflict. Like he's really husband.
Who would you pick to play the dad in a Parent Trap like today if we were just like replacing people?
John Hamm.
I was gonna say that. Oh my god, because I'd literally throw up everywhere.
I would be sick to my fucking stomach.
R.I.P. to single John Hamm. I feel like I wake up every morning and I'm like, oh, he's married.
Also, the fact that like he's just chosen to do whatever he's doing post Mad Men. I'm like, does your management team not like you? Because why is your talent being squandered on this foolishness?
Right. It's like you were the star of one of the biggest shows on TV for an entire decade, and now you're in Activia commercials. Like, what does he even do? Like,
you know who else would be a great contender for the dad in a modern day Parent Trap remake? our man, Jeremy Allen White.
The way he's living one, we don't even need him to be in a remake. Oh
I will audition to be
like
Meredith.
he's like fully in the midst of separating his daughters into like 2 boxes with his wife.
You think he's gonna take one to Chicago? That'd be pretty funny. She can wear a blue apron.
Well, they're New York people, aren't they?
I don't know.
I feel like they live in LA, or like they used to live in New York. Now they're in LA.
Yeah. Shout out to LA. I think we need to do like an Erewhon episode where we just walk the aisles of Erewhon and are like, what the fuck is this? Maybe like a vlog moment. They need to open one in New York.
I know.
That would cause problems. Like that would actually like shift the economy, I think, a little bit. Okay, so like in terms of like, you know, we're kind of astrology girlies. Like, what would you say your Parent Trap big 3 are, like, of the characters?
First off, I want to say The Parent Trap being released during Cancer season makes perfect fucking sense.
So much sense.
It's emotional. There's parent issues. There's great aesthetics. There's great music. But my Parent Trap big 3, I'm definitely an Annie's Son, Hallie Moon, Elizabeth James rising.
Real. Very real. I see that as well. I'm gonna say I was like, honestly, because I feel like when I was younger, I'd like pick a side. Like I'd be like pro one of the twins, which is just me being like a weirdo. But I was like always a really big Hallie girl. I think because she was the one who like took charge and shit. She was like, yeah, we are gonna cut your hair and we are gonna pierce your ears. Because I'm not making any alterations. But we're gonna like physically mutilate you, Annie, because you have to be no one's gonna believe that you grew your hair, blah blah blah. Yeah, so I'm gonna say I'm a Hallie Son. You know, she's just like very Americana, which I love. And then I want to say I'm a Chessie Moon. Like honestly, I remember like she's on my Pinterest in like my outfits boards because like being a child and being like, how does she wear these big shirts and look amazing? Like, what the fuck? And then I'm gonna say I'm a Meredith Blake rising. Like, I'm so sorry. I know she's the villain of the movie, whatever. But like at the end of the day, like she was really just like, if you really think about it, if you put it into perspective, she was really just a girl trying to get to the bag. And like, can we blame her? Can we blame her in the instability of today's economy?
And another woman who was ahead of her time, because she was like, I'm gonna work in PR and be a bad bitch and bag this like. Also, the dad definitely giving attachment issues, because how are you getting engaged and married that quickly consistently? Like, that's not good. Yeah, she was like, I'm actually gonna be 26 and I'm gonna marry this hot guy who owns a vineyard in Napa. And that's what the girlies are aspiring to today. That's what they're trying to do with their quiet luxury.
Yeah. It's not even like, oh, a man who owns like a thing in Napa. It's like a guy who owns like 15 Bitcoin and like oh, how the mighty have fallen. Like, what the fuck? Like men don't even own land anymore.
They're doing all that for a man who works in consulting, whatever that is.
Whatever that is. Oh my God. But yeah, I just feel like if she'd gone about it differently, like if she wasn't mean to the little girls, because I feel like me as an almost 26, like I feel like I could have been like, oh my God, hey, 12-year-old, let's go shopping. Let's like do things that you like to do. Let me learn about you and become your BFF, even though you see me as an adversary for your father's attention. I'm just gonna be super nice to you.
Mm-hmm. And as somebody of step-parent experience, many a time.
She leapt into the pool.
I hope it's like still standing.
Oh my God.
I know. I feel like
Honestly. No, that was Annie.
If Disney was real,
and also the way that they were like if Disney was real, they would send us on a Parent Trap tour.
Well, yeah. And they would take us to London too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Going multi-city. What else? Oh, them concocting the plan to get the parents back together. She didn't come up with a plan. She didn't have a plan of action. She was just, they're geniuses, I'm afraid.
Yeah. And what are their signs? I'm pretty sure they're like Libras.
Because they were born on October 11th.
October 11th.
Hallie was sassing her a little bit by the pool.
Good for her. Good for them.
They were reading the dad down about her. Was fucking crazy. They were like, oh my god, you're gonna adopt Meredith.
Vivid flashbacks to the scenes in that movie. There's a scene where she like pulls out this like $2,000 DSLR camera to like take pictures of her dad. And I remember being like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. It was just like so like I was like, what is it like to be just like, I don't know, to have this house and to just have this life and shit. And yeah, I think, you know, part of my Hallie moon or Hallie sun is just like that house. It's gorgeous, you know, because imagine coming onto the scene with just an absolute banger. You knock that shit out of the park. You're doing a British accent for half the movie. You have people thinking that you have a twin after they walk out of the film. Yeah.
The fact that she didn't get an award for that is actually crazy.
Because she should have won Oscar.
She should have
Best Actress. Like what won that year? Probably not something better than The Parent Trap.
Oh, absolutely not. And we'll verify those facts when we're done recording. But definitely not better than The Parent Trap. We love her. Shout out to Nancy Myers. Did you ever read her piece in the Modern Love column in the New York Times?
No.
It was pretty good. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah, but basically, I think she and her husband, who she had her daughters with that are named Annie and Hallie, I'm pretty sure, got divorced. But like they had like a civil partnership still, like they were still like good friends and stuff. And I think they like went to a wedding together while they were divorced, and that's what it's about. But it was beautifully written, of course. And yeah, that's my sister. We're gonna do a whole Nancy Myers episode eventually, because that's mother, that's sister, like.
So anything you hated this week?
Anything I hated this week. I will say, if we recorded last week when I was on my period, I probably would have a laundry list of things that I hated. But luckily my period has ended, and I'm actually just feeling like a lot lighter, and like nothing in particular is standing out. Like the typical thing is that I hate capitalism, men, the patriarchy, like my usual stuff. Things I loved this week. I'm really liking this podcast, Podception. This podcast called Good Children. It's hosted by these two best friends, and they are white Italian gay guys that grew up on Long Island together. They've been best friends since they were like 5 years old, and they're like 27 now. And they were basically making a podcast where they like reflect on what their lives were like together and like growing up together and stuff. And it's really sweet and wholesome. And like, even though they've known each other for a very long time, like the way that they speak and engage with each other, it also makes you feel like you're included, and it feels like you're their friend. And when I do become the president, I am implementing a podcast mic buyback program for men because I'm sick and tired of them. But
before we even get the guns, we're getting them.
Yeah, the guns, I can wait a couple weeks for the guns. The podcast mics have to go first. But yeah, I will let Joe and Andrew. And also, speaking of friendship, another thing I loved this week, I do work retail in the city, like on the weekends-ish. I won't go into specifics, but if you see me, say hello. And I just really enjoy the camaraderie that comes in working in retail with other young women. Like, I really do love my coworkers. I want to say working in retail is like 70% us kikiing and gossiping and having a good time. And the other 30% is that like we're running that store like it's the Navy. And I like hate capitalism, and I don't really want to work, but I'm glad that I have wonderful, kind, smart people to work with and to gab with and to work the register with on my little retail job. So shout out to them.
That's lovely. It's like that could be a Nancy Myers movie. Working retail.
Fola, do you have anything you loved or hated this week that you'd like to share with the class?
Yeah, let's start with hate. I think this is like a very recent hate, as in like the last 48 hours. It's that Subway girl. And not just her, like she is whatever, but I feel like the ease with which we can magnify white nonsense is something that I hate very deeply. And it just grows and grows and grows. And I'm like, I don't know. should Black people just like have our own social media where we're like, take pictures of your arm? But yeah, I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's like we need to let people who like go viral, like we need to let them simmer. And I think that's the issue is like with like TikTok and stuff, everything's moving so quickly. So like it's like you see a video, it goes big, you say you love this person, and then they say something fucked up and stupid, and then you have to be like, oh, I take it back. But it's just like, it's been a day. Like you don't know this person at all. And people are like, oh, I really fuck with the subway girl. I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know her.
Also, adding on to that, I'm really tired of like these alleged culture journalists simply sitting on their fat asses in their little North Brooklyn apartments being like, which one of these viral tweets can I write about for work today for $1,000? Like, I know that like print media and journalism is suffering right now, but the fact that you guys need to like farm stuff that's happening online that isn't like worthy of an interview in the fucking Cut when that post of hers was going viral on like Monday is crazy.
It's insane.
And it's like it's literally something that was relevant on like a very specific niche section of Twitter. And I just feel like you guys want to be fucking Bernstein and Woodward or whatever that nigga's name is. And y'all all want to like release the next Watergate papers, but you guys want to sit on Twitter and cook in your fucking away pans or whatever the shits are called and not actually do any fucking work. You guys just want to sit on Twitter and shop at Trader Joe's and just whatever you come across is going to be your work for the day. Can you imagine if other people worked like that? Can you imagine if other people worked like that? If you want to do work like that, if you want to do work where you sit on social media and like your time on social media can later be invested into your professional life, you need to be doing social media marketing. You don't need to be writing for The Cut. You don't need to be writing for Paper Magazine. You don't need to be writing for a major publication about something that you saw 10 people tweet about on Monday. It's getting insane. Nobody wants to work.
It seems like nobody wants to work.
Nobody wants to work. They just want to. They're like, I'm gonna write about this viral TikTok. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Girl dinner. Blah, blah, blah. Not everything needs to be a fucking article. Some things just need to stay on Twitter or just stay on TikTok. And frankly, I'm sick of it. Like, on one hand, you guys like no critical thoughts, just vibes. But on the other hand, we need to talk about Subway Girl and this I got dressed in the dark ass fit for 2 weeks. Like, it's really scary. I'm really concerned about the state of our country because just the intellectualism is just not there or it's being misapplied and I don't like it.
That was a read, yes. Honestly, yeah. What she said. I agree with Maya. I feel like, yeah, everything is like an article where like I think everyone wants everything to be like studied academically and analyzed. And the fact is, like, I don't know, as internet people, like we can do that as a joke. But then like, then they start to appear on like CNN and it's like, what the fuck is this? Did you read that thing where it was like the journalists in America, like it used to be that like people would just like, come from like any college or like not even go to college and be able to like get journalism jobs, and now it's like 50% of all the journalists in the United States are like Ivy League grads, or they went to like the University of Chicago, like, even if it's not an Ivy, it's like one of those like top tier universities.
And they can't write.
And well, now we've said it. Because yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know if you saw this, but I saw this like album review of someone's album, and it was some guy, just a verified guy on Twitter with like 200,000 followers, and he's just like, I thought the album was very good. I thought that he explores different musical styles. It's like very much like third grade, like what did you do this summer type shit. And it's like people are sitting there and like liking it and retweeting it. It's just like, it's crazy to me. Like we're losing recipes. I need a good fucking article to like pour over for weeks. And I think also like what you said, similar to what you said, like it's just like people having conversations on Twitter and then you're distilling that into an article. And it's typically Black people that are the ones like actually having these very interesting conversations on Twitter for the free. And someone who's not Black is collecting that check. But that's a conversation for another day.
Ooh.
But yeah, anyway, fuck that girl, fuck everything right now. And like, just, yeah, like, fuck Dime Square, fuck white people who think they're interesting. No shade, but it's just like, you're not. Like, you know, the thing is, it's like her like outfit, and I posted about this on TikTok, but it's like her outfit was like, oh, she was wearing like basketball shorts and like a pump, and it's like, are you kidding me?
That's what I wear to help my mom bring in the groceries.
I was like, I have seen that outfit in like Do the Right Thing, like in a Spike Lee movie. Like, what are you talking about? I did see it. Oh, I can't. The people in Harlem and Queens wouldn't get it.
Like, show me where Harlem and Queens are on a map right fucking now.
And in the article, she was like, sorry, I'm like, this shit just pissed me off today. I actually thought about this before we started recording. I was thinking about like how I love being a girl in 2023 with a phone and like with internet connection, because I was sitting in my room on Monday and I really wanted some candy, but I like didn't want to get up, and I DoorDashed myself like a pound of sour candy, and I didn't have to move a muscle. And I was just like, imagine if I was like living in fucking like peasant fucking 1202 and just like having like, I'd have like 6 babies by now, and I probably have the plague and like all that shit. Like, it just like wouldn't be great for me, and like I'd have to like walk a mile to get fucking water and shit, you know? Like, I just like, I don't think I'd be like good at that, you know? I think that I'm perfect. People are like, oh, I'm an old soul, I was born in the wrong generation. I was not. I don't even think I would have survived in like the 90s, to be honest. Like, that was still paper map time.
You're in the library reading an encyclopedia for your PhD.
Till the world ends. So yeah, I'm just like, you know, and it's like, of course, like being alive right now is like, definitely, we're going through some fuck shit, but like, who isn't going through fuck shit and being alive on planet Earth, you know? And honestly, I'm going through fuck shit, and I have air conditioning, and I can watch TV, and I can play on my little phone, and I have Prozac, right, and I have Wellbutrin, because I don't know, raw dogging life.
It would have been me and the lobotomy real bad.
Lobotomy parties, like, okay, but yeah, you know, just love being a modern girl in a modern world. We're cosmopolitan, we're chic.
Also, we wouldn't have met if we were born in like 1862 or whatever.
Like, first of all, if we were born in 1860 something, I'd literally be in chains. Like, what to tell you? Like, I was born in Florida. Like, they were definitely doing like slavery down there, but whatever. But yeah, like being in the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, being like a little child whose fingers are like unweaving the loom, and then your hand just gets chopped off, and you just don't have a fucking hand, and your mom's like pissed at you because you were the one bringing home like the money to buy bread. And now there's no bread, and you don't have a fucking hand, you stupid idiot. And now what? Like, yeah, like I couldn't have, I couldn't even, I don't think I could have made it through like the 80s, like, or like even the early 2000s. Like, honestly, like,
I definitely would have been doing crack in the 80s. Like, like Ronald Reagan would have dropped it in the neighborhood, and I would have been like, yeah, I would have been.
You know, no, I think if I were to time travel back to the 80s, I totally, like, I would love to be like in 1982, like just cokehead, like just like in the club partying, and then like I'm with like a secretary by day, and I'm just like ramming lines.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Just, yeah.
I always say,
yes, I would survive that.
Oh yeah. I always say that if I could time travel, I have like a couple things that I want to like a couple like things I would like to live through, but I think my number one is always going to be that I want to go back to the 80s and like do mad coke with mad Wall Street niggas at Studio 54. Y'all would not be able to tell me nothing.
Like, what were the conditions that like got us there as Americans? Like, we need to replicate that. I don't know.
Ooh.
Like, just doing drugs and hanging out, you know, where everyone wants to tweet about shit.
What the fuck is an elf bar?
Right. Like, like if you're gonna smoke, you're smoking cotton candy tobacco.
And it looks like something
Get a
from
fucking
Cinderella.
cigarette. Grow up. You wanna have a nicotine addiction? Be an adult. Talking about, oh, I smoke out of a fucking USB flash drive. No. Don't piss me off right now. I'm just gonna keep like ranting about shit that I hate.
Don Draper did not write the why I'm quitting tobacco letter for y'all to be smoking elf bars.
You did not write. It's toasted.
I can't wait for our Mad Men episode. We'll end this episode eventually. But Lee Harvey Jr. whatever that nigga was, bisexual king.
Icon.
Like,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like sexual harassment, no, but you know, being queer in the 60s, we salute you,
bisexual
king.
harassment.
Bisexual harassment? This is why nobody likes bisexual people. Wow.
We just eat hot chip and lie.
Yeah. All right.
It's like a hot chip in the 1960s. Like, I don't know. Just like an Utz potato chip. Eat Utz and fib. Sorry. This is so fucking stupid. Okay. Okay, let's end it, please. Please.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back to episode 2. I guess we should mention it now. Full and I are planning on doing a little back to school episode moment.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if this is going to be out in time.
But I mean, let's mention.
We're going to do a back to school episode. So please feel free to send in questions, comments, stories about school on the next episode. We'll see you guys soon.
Oh my God, episode 2. We did it.
Uh-huh.
We did it, Joe. We're gonna have another episode of our podcast. Okay. We need to end the show.